Hello, welcome to this stream, a new 25NL that we're playing on Coin today. We have got 4 tables up and running, and we are playing, all of them are 25NL. I've just had an interesting hand. Actually, I'm sitting out on a couple of tables accidentally because I forgot to post the big blind and I had to change something in the settings. And now I have to wait for a bit to be back. Also, I haven't really managed to auto rebuy, but that's okay. So yeah, we're playing 25NL, 4 tables, although at the moment only 3, because on this one on the bottom left we are on the waiting list, but hopefully we'll get a seat sometime soon. And in the meantime, we'll just play on the others, although as I said, at the moment it's only this one table on the top right. And here we can just start with a fold, because 10-5 off in the big blind is not a great hand to play against pretty much any position. Yeah, so just trying to top up everywhere. This is a bit silly. Right, so here I am going to call this one, and the reason is it's only... Oh, now we're getting raised. Right, so okay, so we're having to call quite a bit here, but this is just such a fish who keeps limping that I think with pocket deuces we could try to hit a set. And now we have to fold, unfortunately, but that is okay. I don't mind that. But yeah, normally I'm not a fan of calling in the small blind, especially not with a pair to set mine. However, in this particular case, when there is someone who limps from early position and then someone else just raises to 2.5, I think I can profitably call there even from the small blind. I only have to call 2 big blinds, and I'm up against probably 2 players who aren't great, because someone who limps from early position is probably not Daniel Negreanu, and someone who only basically almost min raises over the limper is not exactly Phil Ivey either. So if we then flop a set, we have a chance of taking their stack, which obviously didn't happen in this case. Excuse me. Yeah, that didn't happen. And so we got out of the way. Yeah, this is annoying now. I don't know what's happening here. Why are we on the button but we're not playing? Don't quite understand it. But here we are back on the bottom right. Well, we're back with 6 deuce off, and then hopefully on the left we will also be playing soon. I really don't understand why we got skipped over here. That doesn't really make sense to me. And we can definitely fold our 6 deuce offsuit. Yes, I don't know why I'm getting asked every time whether I want to. King 10 off. So I can see we are live. I was worried for a second because I couldn't find the stream, but now I got it. So we are live, and that is very good news. So yeah, come join me, watch the stream. I've changed the layout of the tables because in the past it was still kind of like I tried the grayish black one, but I think this one is even a bit nicer. It's a very sleek gray color. It's kind of my favorite color for poker tables. And on the top right table we have again this guy who limps, and then we have this guy who raises, but with king 5 off we're not going to get involved. Plus this time the guy actually raised to 5 big blind. And now the other one donked. We would have had an open ender at this point, but we would never have made it that far, I guess. And we get a walk with 10-3 off. I shall not complain about that one. Jack 10 off in the small blind. If it gets folded to us, we will raise. Ace 7 off, low jack, definitely a fold. So don't get tempted by playing some raggy aces from early position. That's a surefire way of losing a lot of money. Yeah, this is interesting. This guy who kept limping now raised to 5 big blinds, and the other guy raised him to 12 and then he donked. Okay, so on the left, top left, I raised this. It's quite marginal, but still I am going to just bet small, getting check raised. Got a gut shot. I don't think I can. I want to fold with a gut shot. And here, I mean, this guy has done a lot, but I don't really want to do that. So now I think I want to go for a raise here when the king comes and he keeps barreling. And at this point, he might call. I'm still gonna jam here to get. Why am I gonna jam? No, I'm not gonna jam because I think he will. No, I'm just gonna check this one and take it down because I win against the flush draw. So there was. I didn't explain much, to be fair. Oh, and again I missed it here. This is just rubbish. Like I need to confirm my big blind every time, and if I don't confirm it, then if I'm just distracted as I was here, then I lose an orbit. So I'm sorry about that. I'll try to pay more attention to this. But yes, so what I was doing there was he check raised me on the flop, and on that board I thought he either has a monster like a set or two pair, or he has a draw. And then I called there with my gut shot, and then on the turn he bet again, and then I raised him when the king came. And yes, if he has a big hand or they're a monster, then obviously I'm not going to get him to fold. But against draws, I really charge them there, and if I get jammed on, then that's an easy fold anyway. And he did call, and then on the river for a second I was going to jam, but the thing is, if we say that his range is comprised of either monsters or draws that bricked, then I think I want to just check there because I can't get the monsters to fold, and I win against the draws. And the only draws that I don't win against are some where he just happens to hit something, either the king or he had one of the other cards with a flush draw. But overall, checking back there is certainly the way to go. Just reloading here. Not much, it's just 2 cents, but let's fill it up to the 100. King Jack off in the small blind. There is a call from what is effectively the cutoff, and then now the button makes it 6, and with King Jack off, I just want to fold against a 6x raise, and then having the limper in the pot as well. It's fine to just raise. Posting the big blind and raising pocket nines under the gun. 10-6 off on the button is obviously a fold. Okay, and this guy keeps 3-betting all the time. Like, I am going to call. Could even consider 4-betting, but I'm going to call because we flop a boat, which is pretty good. He bets third pot. That could raise, but I don't want to. Let's just give him some more rope. This is, of course, not a great card, because if he has Jack 10, but I mean, he has a lot more in his range than just Jack 10. So that's okay, and he keeps barreling. That's fine too. Let's just call there again, and now it's enough if he has a 10, which is like really annoying, but I am still gonna call. I'm gonna go broke here. If he has a 10, then that's great, or if he has pocket jacks, but he has pocket queens, so this is an easy one. And he did have a hand this time, actually. I think, like, previously he had just 3-bet several times, almost in a row. But this time he did have a hand, but I think he overplayed it a bit, because, I mean, what does he hope to get called by? And now we are just checking our option in the big blind against Bruce Wayne, who keeps limping from any position. And obviously if he even just breathes at this pot, we will be out. Question is whether we should turn this into a bluff now, but I think it's okay. I don't really want to. I could pretend to have a king or whatever. Now, okay, now we can bet. Quite big. Queen 7 suited we fold, and we got this one through here with our 4 high. That is great. Yeah, so I think pocket queens there, small blind versus early position, is a bit optimistic to go for 3 streets of value out of position. Yeah, it's on that board especially, because like, what am I gonna call with? Because the board was 9 8 8 7 Jack, So I don't arrive to the river with a jack. I can't really have ace jack or king jack or so. I can't have, like, what else would I call the triple barrel with pocket sixes? So I think that's just I can have so many hands there. I can have slow played sets. I could even slow play aces and kings pre-flop. I could have jacks that then got there on the river. I could have nines. I could, in theory, even have quad eights. I might have 9-8. And what does he beat that I call with for 3 streets of value? I just can't see a single hand. Like, if I think that he is a massive bluffer, then maybe I'll bluff catch with something. Here, I'm just gonna go for the squeeze with King Jack. I wasn't gonna do that against a fairly old early position race, but with this cold call there, I thought this is a good spot to go for the squeeze on the button with a decent hand. King Jack off is definitely bottom end of the squeezing range, but it's okay. But now we got cold called by the big blind, who is our friend, who seems to be very passive, limps pretty much into every pot, and now cold calls a 3-bet. Let's give him the tag of being a non-crusher. Okay, that's a pretty good flop for our hand. I can not complain about that. And this guy donks when we have the nuts. That's nice. Unfortunately, everyone else folded. So I am going to raise this one up a little bit. And he jams, and we call, and what does he have? He has ace deuce off? What? What on earth is that? Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Bruce Wayne. That's amazing. I really did not expect that. I think that's one for the highlights show. Really pleased. Nice. So we've gone from 100 to 324 big blinds on the top right. Sadly, we can't seem to get a seat on this other table. 7-6 suited early position. I'm just going to fold this one. King 3 off. Definitely going to fold as well. Okay, I'm just going to check whether we can... Is there any other... Yeah, we're going to post the small blind, don't worry. Here we can play this one. Oh, well, now it's... Can't join it anymore. No, there are none available. Lots of limpers. We got 9-5 suited. I'm just gonna fold. I know I seem like a nit. Oh, we got one. Got a table. That's excellent. Pocket nines again against the same player. I am going to raise him now. Even though he raised from early position, but as I said, he is quite an aggressive player. I think he probably opens wider than what GTO would open in early position. Sadly, we're getting 4-bet, cold 4-bet to a pretty big size. That is a very weird one. That's a very, very weird size that he chose there. I would have gone more like 17, 18. I am still going to call this. He can definitely have some ace king. So just again, ooh, and here we have ace king against this Edna guy. I think I want to shove, cold shove there. Okay, so on this river I'm just gonna go really small to get a call from ace king, but he just folds. Okay, well that's good. And here we had ace king versus queens, which is fine. So it was the original Razor who had queens, but that's okay because we four-bet. We got the three betters money there, and we basically chopped. And unfortunately, no action with pocket kings. But yeah, I'm okay with that. Ace king versus queens is fine with that extra money to buffer it up. So we did make probably a tiny profit on paper despite the high rake. And also, this is quite good because we get a lot of rake back. So I really enjoy that feature and getting 33% rake back on coin, which means that these situations are even more profitable. Okay, now we can start raising, and we're gonna go to 6 big blinds with king jack suited. Okay, this is not great, but I am just going to bet this one and we get a fold. So yeah, in theory, ace 9-8 against a limper, not exactly great out of position to c-bet, but against this player who just limps with, by the looks of it, his entire range, I think that he will very often miss this. So I'm happy to c-bet, and we did indeed just take it down, which was great. 7-6 suited, this time in the cutoff. Earlier we had it in early position. Now, because we're in the cutoff, I am a lot happier to bet it, and we just get fold. Jack 7 suited against a 3x raise is very, very marginal, but I am going to call it. And now we are going to overbet this one. And we get a fold, which is excellent. Yep, players, I think, don't check back enough. Oh, sorry, they don't protect the checking range, that's what I meant to say. Okay, we got pocket queens, so definitely going to 3-bet these. Ace 5 off is a fold against a button raise. Okay, he makes it 26, which I really don't love, but makes it quite quickly. But this is a fairly late configuration. This guy is a bit of an aggressive player, but sadly this time he calls. That said, it's okay because he has ace king, and we win the first one, and we probably win the second one as well by the looks of it. So that is excellent. Yes, let's go. Right, here on the left we opened the small blind called. I'm just gonna bet range pretty much. And we get a fold, that's great. Okay, let's just do this one again. We're gonna raise king queen this time. 6, 7, this is a fold. And now he 4 bets, sorry, again. And this time I'm just gonna give up, that's fine. We've still done very well. I can't complain. We're on 350 big blinds. Here we are on 184, and here we're on 130. Only here we're just pretty much on our starting stack. Ace Jack. Raising it, of course. Oh, I actually should have raised it bigger. This was a mistake. I didn't realize. Nah, I just autopiloted against this player. Okay, when he checks, I'm gonna just range bet small against him. I think he might be thinking whether to check raise. Oh no, he just folded. That's good. I'm okay with that. I only had ace high after all. Okay. Yeah, so quite fun so far. Pocket tens. Definitely going to raise. But yeah, what I was saying earlier where I made the mistake was I just autopiloted. I just went to the normal 2.5x on the button with my ace jack off, not realizing that the big blind would probably call a bet with his entire range to 5 big blinds even. Okay, so here this is not amazing, but I'm going to range bet. And we do have the 10 of diamonds, and we just end the hand here and there. I mean, with 2 overcards and a flush out there, there is not that much that I can hope to win with my pocket tens, so I'm very happy to just take it down. It's been a good session so far. Can definitely not complain about a run good, but I did run really poorly. Like, I don't know if you watched that. I think it was even over 2 sessions in a row where I ran so bad. Oh, my connection is low at the moment, slow at the moment. I hope it holds up. The thing is that I have temporarily moved to a different apartment because I'm having some renovation works done in my own apartment. And where I am now, I have a bit of a makeshift construction, so it's just. Oh yeah, but the connection is back to normal now. That's good news. Yeah, so I don't have an Ethernet cable. It's just it goes through mobile Wi-Fi, and that's why it might be a bit slower at times, but it's all right, I think. A 7 off in the big blind. And this guy, Bruce Wayne, now raises to 5 big blinds. That seems to be his standard raise size, and I'm not going to call a 7 off against that 5 big blind raise, especially not after the small blind gets involved. Though Bruce Wayne does seem to be a bit fit or fold, which is good to know. Okay, what is going on here now? This is very, very weird. I don't quite understand why this has 0.08 big blinds everywhere, except for this guy who's got 1 big blind in. He is the big blind, but I don't fully understand what's going on. I think there's just a glitch in the software where they don't collect the antes. Okay, definitely going to check. I'll check range on this board. If he bets for a normal size, I will continue. He called me in the cutoff. I'm in an early position. He can have, well, he shouldn't, but he can have all three sets. He can have hands like sevens, eights, fives, tens even. I am definitely going to call this once. Also because I have the ace of spades. Sorry, no, it doesn't matter because it's not a flush draw. Okay, so he bet there once, and could I get him to fold? I can probably, if I go really big now, I might be able to get him to fold a hand like, oh, but he snap calls me. What does he have? He snap calls me with a 9. So he called pre-flop with 10-9 offsuit, and then he snap calls there. Okay, so that's why they say never bluff fish, because that's clearly not a great player if he calls an early position raise in the cutoff with 10-9 off, and then the flop bet was good, the turn check was fine, and then yeah, he was planning to bluff catch there. I was just hoping that once the jack comes that I would get him to fold, but he snap called me, so I'll just say here called EP raise with 10-9 off. Just gonna continue this now. In cutoff. And I'll also say calling station. And you'll also get the coveted tag of a non-crusher. So 7-6 suited against a raise to 3 and a call. I'll just call this one. Here I'm obviously going to fold. This is a decent-ish flop. And this is an even better turn. I'm just going to overbet this one. In case someone slow played a king or a set or so, but unfortunately they folded. So yeah, if I had gone smaller I might have gotten some money, but this is the type of board that I will overbet if I bet there. 10-3 off, folding again, top right against a 6x raise by Bruce Wayne. Here we are going to raise 9-7 off, get called, and this is fine. They have a gut shot, and so now I can start going for some big bets. He did call though, and since I have 9 high, I am going to bet big on this river, get him to fold any diamonds, potentially a 5 or a 4, or pocket 3s, or 6s. But didn't work. He called me with a 4. Okay. I still think it was fine to overbet there, although I would expect a 4 normally to fold, but that maybe it's worth in blind versus blind in that configuration to just bluff a bit less and go more for a thin value, because players, rightly so, they just don't believe me that much because I have so many hands there that I arrive with on that river, because he didn't filter me at all. So I have my entire pre-flop raising range, which is very big already. So raising pocket jacks in the low jack, 2 jacks in the low jack. And again, we're up against this player who is a calling station. Problem is, now we have 2 overcards to our jacks. Him checking is good news. I am going to check again because we're not going to get a lot of value out of him. But now I think on this river we can go not for a very big one, but we can go for a bit of value. I think he will call with a 10 or a 9. And yep, he did call. Don't know what he had, but we got some money out of him, which is great on such a board. But yeah, we had the bluffy image, so maybe I could even have gone a bit bigger. But I didn't want to value on myself too much, because the bigger I go, the more I will only get called by better hands. If I had had a really good ace there, I could have gone really big, because I think after the experience from 5 minutes ago where he caught me bluffing, this time he would certainly have called there with a king. But obviously I don't want, when I have pocket jacks, I don't really want him to call with a king. So yeah, we got caught bluffing twice, I think, but that is okay. That's how you keep the red line. Just be aggressive, and when you get called, at least that doesn't affect the red line. That only affects the blue line. Okay, we have a limper, 8-6 suited. Normally I really hate limping, but completing in the small blind with this hand when there is a limper in the pot, I just fancy my chances. I don't think it's really profitable, but I guess it's okay. Okay, now we have top pair, and we can go for some value. Going to open Queen 8 offsuit. We're getting called by the big blind. Okay, and here we're getting raised. That's fine. We can just fold. I can live with that. And now we have 2 pair, so now I am definitely going to go for value. It could be, of course, that he has something better than me, but I do have 2 pair. He caught me bluffing earlier. So I could imagine him calling, but this time, unfortunately, he does not call. So sadly, we do not make any money with our 2 pair. So raising 7-5 suited on the button is quite marginal. You're not going to make a lot of money with that, but I do fancy my chances in general. And now we're getting 3-bet by this player. I think I'm just going to fold. Pocket fours, I'm gonna fold in the hijack. We're getting 3-bet here in the top left, where we have ace queen off, so that will be a 4-bet now. Against a button 3-bet, I think that is a profitable play. Even though he calls, we do have top pair, top kicker, and this, however, is a board that I want to check. The queen is a card that's not really amazing for our range, but of course for our hand. Now we have top 2 pair, so now we definitely want to get some money in there. Gonna go just over half pot. And he calls. And on this river, I think I just want to jam for about a pot size with top 2. If he has ace king, ace jack, he will call, and if he has a set, we're gonna lose anyway. And I think if he ever has ace king, he'll never fold that. Ace jack, he might fold, but well, he did have ace king, so that is excellent. We did get him there. We did get him, so this is really going well. Thank you. I do enjoy that. Yeah, some good hands for the highlights today. Can definitely not complain. This can go on like this. Haven't had a good day in a while, and I was saying I've been playing more live poker this month because I'm trying to get into a cash race and in a live card room in London. But yeah, then I have to play 4 hours every day pretty much. So that's what I've been doing. Today I'm taking a break, but tomorrow I'll be back at the grind. And that's not been going well at all. I mean, quite the opposite. I had a session that was just ridiculous. First I doubled up quite quickly with pocket kings as an overpair, triple barreled it off against the calling station, so that was great. And then after that, it was just really ridiculous. My aces got cracked by jack 10. Then I had a set of threes and someone had a flush. Then I had a set of kings and someone had a flush with 5 deuce suited. Then that same player called my big bet with 9-7. No, yeah, 9-7. I had pocket jacks, and then he rivered trips. And then I 3-bet him with ace 10 suited. He called me with king 7 suited out of position. And then he hit a 7. I tried to bluff him off that. He did not budge. So I just really lost a lot there. And then I managed to bluff him back at the end. So it wasn't a terrible session. I actually finished just about in profit. I don't know how, because it was a miracle in the end. But it was just ridiculous to have such a session. Like, to have to flop 2 sets and both times to lose against a flush, and one time even in a heads up pot, and then having aces cracked, jacks cracked. Although okay, jacks being cracked is not that special, but still. So yeah, today I am seemingly just getting back some of those losses. Yeah, if you want to share any of your recent sessions, how it went, let me know. The comments are there so that you can ask me questions or share something at any time. Yeah, so I'm still working on figuring out how to do the bankroll challenge. So the idea is that we'll do a bankroll challenge from zero. The thing that I'm not sure about yet is how to begin it, because the issue is that if I start from zero, I obviously can't play any real money games, so I have to play free rolls, and I can't really multi-table those because there's only one running at a time. So I'm just afraid that it might be a little bit too boring. So what I might do is to combine that with playing some cash maybe, and then keeping the cash separate. So yeah, those would be that would be an option. I'll have to see. Here I have pocket kings on the bottom left. Hopefully we'll get 3-bet. No, the guy just called. Well, that's okay too. I think I'm going to c-bet on the bigger side now, just exploitatively. Although I think probably solver does mix some bigger bets as well. But this guy is really taking his time now. I mean, obviously he won't be tanking, he'll be distracted or he'll have some connection problems. And he actually donked. I think, okay, this is interesting that he donked. I'm just gonna raise him. With pocket kings, I'm okay to raise him. He calls, and the queen is really bad because he might have, obviously, he might have a queen. He checks, and now because of that, I will have to check as well. And the ace is pretty terrible too. There's really not a great run out, and he now bets pot. Okay, so he donked there. That's usually, I mean, he's basically saying that he's got a queen, not an ace. He's saying he's got a queen, and I'm just gonna call this off because yeah, he did have the queen. Okay, but quite often players donk there with a draw, and since all draws breaked, and yes, he could have the ace of clubs if he had a club draw, but I don't think he would bet that big. So he's really saying he's got a queen, and yeah, he might have a queen when it was annoying that the queen paired the board because we were miles ahead pre-flop and on the flop. But this is kind of like very similar to what happened when I played live, just what I said earlier. So this time I have pocket kings and it gets cracked by, what was it? Queen 10 off, I think. Right, this is not a great flop for me. Now I have a... I don't think I can bluff this player. I have him down as a calling station. So now that he bets pot, I'm just gonna fold. Queen jack suited in the small blind. raise on the button. Okay, so Hungry ATM, we've battled him before, just going to 3-bet, we're getting 3-bet on this table, fine. Okay, 7-6 suited, I'm just going to call. This is, by the way, this is a terrible draw, it's a gut shot, and if the 8 comes in, then we lose to a single jack. So that is really bad. However, I am going to just overbet this one now. After the skipped C bet. So now I think I have to give up because I'm saying that I have I'd be saying that I have a 10 or better if I bet again, and he can just have a lot of value hands there. Oh yeah, here this guy called me again, so I'm just going to check. And when he bets there, I'm just gonna fold. Okay, he checked. I am going to bet. Here we're getting 3-bet. I'm gonna call with pocket 4s. Bets 8 into 21. I'm not sure if this is, but with a 4 of hearts, I'm going to call, and here we will start with a bet. Keeps barreling. Now I'm just going to fold. Okay, so this guy, he seems fit of fold, and I think once he has something, he won't give up. So if he checks now, I can... Well, yeah, he does not check. Okay. So I need to see. He overbets this, and when he overbets it, I think I will not call my bluff catcher. King hit off, definitely a fold, especially after someone raised. So I saw that on Sundays a lot of streamers stream tournaments, so there's not a lot of cash being streamed, I think, on a Sunday. Correct me if I'm wrong, but now you're getting into the joy of watching me play. And we've had a decent session, even though now the last few minutes haven't gone that well. But we had that amazing hand where we flopped the nuts and someone just jammed into us with absolutely nothing. That was pretty good. And then just a few minutes ago we had another nice hand where we had ace queen and we're up against ace king, and we managed to get all his money when we had top 2 pair. That money is only borrowed though, because I think if the card distribution were to be the other way around, I don't know if I can get away from that hand either with ace king. I might jam pre-flop, but then again, if under the gun 4 bets you, not so sure. Okay, here, this is a hand that I will sometimes 3-bet from the big blind, even against an earlier position. And I think I haven't 3-bet from the big blind at all yet. And getting punished straight away. Okay, well then, I guess I shall fold. Let's get it done with quickly. Everyone folds. Great. Queen 10 off. Against a 3x raise will be a fold. Against a smaller raise, against a min raise, I would definitely call. 2.5x probably already a fold. And 3x definitely a fold. You got king jack off in the cutoff, but there is a low jack raise. And against low jack raise, king jack is usually a fold. Okay, some hands that are not super playable at the moment. King jack off again. Now we can raise this. Definitely an open raise from the hijack. And on this board, I'm going to start with a range bet 1/3. Getting check raised. Interesting. We do have the jack of diamonds, which is a good and a bad thing. But I'm just gonna give this to him. It's a huge check raise to 11. I made it 1.5-ish and he made it 11.5, so that is not worth calling there for that size. Ace 2 suited, just about a raise. I mean, it is in GTO, it's definitely a raise in the cutoff, but it's not that amazing. That said, now that we get 3-bet by the button, I think this could be a nice 4-bet. Okay, we have ace jack on ace jack 5, so we are just going to c-bet this one. Even though we're up against 2 players and we're out of position. Well, sadly both of them folded. That's okay, but we got it through with the ace 2 suited there, so that's a positive one with our 4-bet. Okay, this is a pretty good flop for our hand. I'm gonna go with a half pot sized bet. I know this is not quite GTO, but it does the job. So very happy with that. So now we have ace queen. definitely opening this one. And by the way, if you've noticed from early position and even from middle position, I just min raise these days. No need to risk that much. Sometimes exploitatively I go a bit bigger with the best hand, but mostly not. This is a decent flop. I'm out of position. Will this get stabbed? Let's say it might get stabbed, doesn't get stabbed, get punished straight away with the king coming. This is very annoying. Against two players I don't want to bet. But now I will bet. Now I will go. I don't think anyone has a king. Let's overbet this one. If someone has a weaker queen, they will call. If someone has something like pocket sevens or so, they might also call. But everyone folded once again. But we have pocket queens at the bottom left. 10-9 suited, a hand that many players overvalue. I will not. I'll just fold it under the gun, especially. But let's see. We got called where we have the queens. Oh, that's a nice one. So we can start with a check on this board, especially because we have the queen of hearts. And we can call 9-7 suited in the big blind. Okay, this is again pretty annoying. But we do have the queen of hearts and we have top set, so we can start betting. And now we have a boat, so now this is a great spot. Now we can go for glory. I'm gonna go. So here in this case, ooh, we're getting raised. Here we are gonna go to 10x, and here we're gonna shove. And we get snap called by... Ooh, he also had a boat. Wow. We can't complain today about running good. Well, we ran bad against this player earlier when I had kings and he had queen 10. Flop came queen high, and then the turn was another queen, and he bet pot on the river, and we paid him off. So now we got that money back with interest. So that was very nice. King queen off against an early position raise. Well, okay, there's a 3-bet anyway. This would have been close whether to 3-bet or fold. Definitely not calling with king queen off. But it's great to see this session. I've really needed it. I've had such a bad run, both live and online, that it's great to have a session like this where things actually go my way. And that's what you have to remember, that when you're stuck in a really bad period where everything seems to go against you, it will turn, it will turn. You just have to play long enough and it will turn. So if you're enjoying this, please smash that like button. It helps the algorithm with the discoverability. Okay, let's see. We get another interesting hand. 10 and off, cut off will be a fold either way. Now we have ace king on 2 tables at the same time. Great. And pocket jacks. These are some interesting hands. Let's see what we get on this table. Anything else nicely? Yes, ace queen. That's crazy. Okay, so here we're gonna 3-bet obviously. Here we're gonna raise jacks. Okay, we got 3-bet and there's a cold caller. And we are all very deep, so I'm going to make this 23 big blinds now. Here I'm going to check out of position. Oh, and here we flop middle set. Get called. Now I lose against 9-10. Still we are gonna go. I can't go too big. Okay, with ace king we took it down there, and we take it down here too. That's great. Now we have an ace and a queen, so now we can start over betting. Okay, so here we are just going to bet. Unfortunately no action on the top right, but that's fine. Okay, diamonds. I will continue betting. I'm gonna bet small with the king of diamonds, and then I'm gonna bet big on the river, but not needed because we just take it down. That's how we like it. And with pocket jacks, with our set of jacks, unfortunately we didn't make a lot of money either. But that's okay. So let's see how much money we made today. I'm going to close these down. Keep this one up. So here we have, how much is that? $50. And we have made, yeah, I think we made about $125 or so. That's 5 buy-ins. That's a pretty good rate. But as I said, I really needed this. And let's see, we have a couple more hands before we wrap it up. So yeah, this game seemed to be quite soft today. So I definitely like this site. It's very good to play on it. Some soft fields in the 25 NL player pool. Okay, we raise pocket fives. Any action, or can we just take it down? We're just taking it down, that's fine. Three deuce off. We can safely fold this one. And let's see, playing this one more hand. this guy did a 10% feather bet on the river and got raised. Okay, last hand of the day. We have a7 suited. Okay, I'm going to raise this one up. Even though it's under the gun, and it's probably not profitable, but I'll still raise it. Getting called by the button. And this is not a great flop for me, neither from my range nor from my hand. Do have a couple of backdoors and an overcard. I still wish I had something like ace jack, ace queen, ace king to have two overcards. This, however, is now a very good one. Going to go for the overbet with a king of hearts. He does call. And now, I mean, we win against some hands, but I still think I'm going to overbet this one, even though I have one of the flush draws, but I'm sorry, I do have the flush draw because there's only one there, but it will be hard pressed to call because I can have a jack there, I can have king jack, I can have queen jack already, so we do get him to fold. That's excellent. Thank you very much for watching. See you very soon.